Alrighty, guys. Kentucky wins a very ugly game, 61-53 against Providence. 61-53. Sheboy, 25 rebounds for Kentucky. Way to go, Oscar. Oscar was the difference in the game. Toppin had 18. Reeves had 22. They gave us just enough offense to win a very ugly game. And, it could have been worse. We could have been Purdue and got beat by FDU. It can always be worse, that's for sure. But good to get that first win. And I'm proud of this team. Somewhat, I guess you could say I'm proud. I'm glad we won, but let's look at the overall stats. We shot 36% from the field. They shot 36.2. We shot 36.5. 31% on threes for Kentucky. 20% for Providence. We both shot bad, really bad. So we both made 5 3-pointers, but Kentucky shot less. They shot 16 versus 24. We made 10 out of 13 on the free throws. They made 6 out of 11 on their free throws. 76 versus 54. 5-point difference. 4-point difference. 4-point difference. Yeah. And that didn't really matter because if they made their extra 5 free throws, we still would have won the game because we won by 7. So, so you can't go by that. The key to the game, 48 rebounds versus 31, and Kentucky had 18 offensive rebounds. That was the difference in the game, in my opinion. 12 assists versus 10 for Kentucky. We had 4 blocks versus 1. We had 6 steals versus 5. 11 turnovers versus 11, and 11 turnovers versus 10, and we had 12 fouls versus 16. It don't really matter. So this is why you play March Madness. You have a player like Oscar Sheboy, a great player who can carry a team at times. Even if he doesn't score, he makes a presence on the offensive and the defensive end by his rebounding, and that's how we won the game. That was a very, very bad offensive game to watch. Kentucky mustered up 61 points, and I'm not impressed with it, but again, we could have been Purdue. So, I know teams don't like that when it happens to them, but that's what makes the tournament exciting because anything can happen. That's what I like most about it. Anything can happen. So now, Kentucky, we face Kansas State, who won their game 77-65. And I'll be honest, Kansas State, they probably have the advantage. Let's look at their game. They shot 58% from the floor and 26% on three. So it looks like Kansas State, I think they are better than Kentucky. I think they're playing better. I don't know if they're the better team, but I think they're better. They played in a hard conference. We know all about their conference. They played in a hard conference. SEC's done pretty good so far in the tournament. So, see if they have any weaknesses I see. They out-rebounded Montana. They out-assisted. They had less turnovers. They shot better from the floor. So I watched some of that game just because I knew we would be playing Kansas State. Kansas started out pretty slow. It was only a 6-point lead at halftime. And then they, took command the second half. So every time I've picked Kentucky this year, seems like, or I've said Kentucky's they figured it out. They know what they're doing now. Every time I've said that, Kentucky's lost the next game. So I'm just going to say it right here. Kentucky's not figured it out. They don't know what they're doing. And let's hope we can win that next game. That's the best way to put it because I think I picked them to beat Vanderbilt easily both times. There's no way they can beat us again. They beat us again. I'm not falling for this no more. Maybe I'm the curse. Maybe I'm cursing Kentucky by picking them. So I'm going to pick Kansas State to beat Kentucky. But I'm just going to because that seems to be the pattern. So I'm going to pick Kentucky to lose every game here on out. Even though we have a chance, I'm not going to pick them to win. So I'm going to go by that logic, and we'll see what happens when we play Kansas State. I'm not going to pick the score or nothing. I'm just going to say, let's hope we can win because we are the underdogs. I mean, it's obvious. They're the 3 seed and we're the 6 seed. So we have our backs against the wall. And we don't know what's going to happen. Let's just hope we can somehow pull this out and make it a miracle win. Impossible win. They'll be like, Kentucky, how did they do it? How did they pull out this impossible win against Kansas State? So that's pretty much it. That's my prediction, my BS on the Kansas-Kentucky game. Let's enjoy it and go from here. And let's congratulate FDU for a great win against Purdue. One of the great upsets of all time in college basketball. I think this is the greatest upset I've ever seen. This is bigger than that Virginia game to me. This is easily bigger. Easily. Purdue has the worst loss ever in tournament history. How about that? That's painful. Now, what if that was... See, now that stuff like that is exciting as long as it's not your team. If that's your team, it's like, oh my God. You'll never live it down. You never will. This will haunt Purdue from now on because they will always be known as one of the 1 seeds that lost to a 16 seed. Just like Virginia. It happened to them. To me, this is bigger, though. To me, it just seems like it's bigger. I think this Purdue team was better than that Virginia team. So, to me, it's bigger. This is the biggest loss ever. So, you know. Just imagine if that was Kentucky as a 1 seed. What if that was your team? Say you're a Duke fan or North Carolina or Kansas or anybody. Tennessee, whatever. If you're a 1 seed, just imagine getting beat by a 16 seed. I don't know how you recover from that. I really don't. That is just a mark that never leaves. It really is. But anyway, that's pretty much it. That's going to be the official. Kind of like the Kentucky Duke game. That's something you never forget about. All those years ago, when we beat, and I'm not talking about the Lakener shot. I'm talking about the redemption when Kentucky beat Duke and won that national title. I'm not talking about that. To me, that's the left out part of that is, to me, Kentucky got the revenge and won a national title. That's what I always look at when I think of that. We went through Duke to do it, and we came back. So anyway, guys, that's going to be pretty much it. As always, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Let's hope Kentucky can pull it out, but it's going to be hard. It is. So hopefully I get to keep making videos on Kentucky. Hopefully, we'll see. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. And go Big Blue. Just hopefully we can win this game. You know, Kansas, the superior coach. I mean, that's not saying much. I'm probably a better coach than Coach Cal. But the superior coach, they got the superior athletes. They have the advantage at every position except, I would say, Sheboy. And that's probably a wash, 50-50. We have the better fans, though. We have the better fans. And maybe that'll be enough to carry Kentucky to an upset win. A shocker. We'll see you guys as always next time. Go Big Blue.